Today we're talking about the Thermarest Parsec 0 degree bag and how it did in 7 degree temperatures. Let me whip it out here. This bag was my favorite out of the 4 I've tested so far, the 0 degree bags. I tested them at 7 degrees. It was a little bit lower than that, and what I did was the temperature for my area was around 10, 9, 8 degrees, I think it was the lowest, and then the actual thermometer outside went from 4, 5, 6 degrees. So I just kind of split the difference, said it was 7 degrees. So they all were around, the same temperature outside. And this one was the most comfortable, the better performer at the end of the day. And I really think this is like the go-to bag for me, given what I've tested so far. Now granted, I have other ones to test, but at the moment this one is the front runner based on how it performed. The other cool thing I like is on the back you got some straps to put around your sleeping pad so it doesn't move around when you move around. So there's a lot of things I like about this. As we unzip it here, it doesn't have what I would call the best type of draft collar, but it does have a thick draft collar. So you can see it's just the basic kind of old school, straight draft collar. But it's nice and plush. I didn't feel anything coming in through the sides or anything like that. It stayed warm and cozy, and at the end of the day was the highest performer at the end of 45 minutes. So this bag was a great performer. It was right below so far the best performer, which is the Mountain Hardware Bishop Pass at the end of 45 minutes. It was only 0.9 degrees off of what that was, and where this really shined was it leveled. So it got to the temperature relatively quickly, and then it just stayed right there, and it didn't really budge much. It went up a little bit at a time, and by the end of the test it was still gaining heat. And it felt the best as far as like not cold spots, anything like that. So it says limit 0, comfort 14, and I had this out easily at 7 degrees, and I would not hesitate to use this at 5 degrees. It was a very, very good performer that performed near its limit, which is not something you see usually. Usually you'll see a 0 degree bag do well at 10. This one did excellent, around 7 degrees. So let's talk about the stats we got here for this bag. This is a very lightweight bag. It has a green for weight because it is extremely lightweight. The cost is a little high, it's just above 550 bucks. So you're gonna spend a lot of money for this, but I think you're gonna get a bag that lasts a really long time and something that packs down relatively small and is super comfy and just kicks butt at what you want it to do, which is keep you warm. As far as the numbers go, the Parsec didn't have that great of a start. It didn't warm up as fast as any of the other bags the first 10 minutes. Now granted it was, started at 32, so it was a degree lower start, but it was one of the slower ones to warm up. But once it hit 15 minutes, it was the fastest one, 15, 20, and 25 minutes. And then it just, stayed right there, around 80, 81 degrees, at the end 82 degrees, for the last, 15, 20 minutes. It just stayed there, and that was really impressive. The ability for a sleeping bag like this Thermarest to retain the heat is something you see when the longer you're in the bag. So if I did an hour-long test, you'd probably see more curves and stuff as far as like, is the bag actually teetering off? And 45 minutes I think is the minimum amount of time to test sleeping bags. So what I do is I go in with a certified thermometer, turn it on. I'll put a link down in the video explaining what I do, so I'm going to explain it every time. So if you're curious what I do, go ahead and look at that video that's in the description down below. But this thing was great. One thing I will say is Thermarest bag, they say this is up to 6 feet. I am 6 foot, and I would not recommend this for anyone 5'10", 5'11", and above. My feet were somewhat touching the end, and I think if you're 6 foot or above, you want to, I think if you're 6 foot's where you probably want to go to a large. But that's the only thing I saw. That's not really a big deal. It's only, a few extra ounces for the other bag. I think 2 or 3 ounces for the other bag. So it's not really a big deal to move to the large, or whatever it's called, long. So in the end, this is definitely going to be one of the top performers. I can already see that based off my testing. What I tested, back in 2013 as to what I'm testing now. This one performed well. It felt great. I would definitely take a look at it if it's something that you're looking for, a 0 degree bag. Take a look at this Thermarest Parsec, I think. If you have any questions or anything, let me know. If you've had Thermarest bags in the past, or specifically this Parsec model, Go ahead and put it in the comments down below. Let us know what you think of it, and if what I did makes sense, if you've experienced the same thing. Until next time, later.